Hey cuties, Peachy here. Welcome back to a new video, and in this video we're going to take a look at the design evolution of Abbey in G3. Kind of weird to make an evolution video about just one generation. Maybe it would make more sense to make a complete evolution video with G1 and G2 if Abbey was in generation 2, I'm not sure. But there were just so many developments with Abbey in generation 3, so I thought, you know what, let's just focus and see about and really focus on the details that they changed throughout the different takes and evolutions of Abbey in G3. So Abbey in G3, her design started getting made already almost 2 years ago now, which is kind of amazing, thanks to Christina Faline, who is actually the original designer behind Abbey's look. They posted this picture with the original concept art for Abbey and the caption, which reads, "Here's a quickie rough sketch showing my first iteration of G3 Abbey Abominable. I can't believe it's been nearly 2 years since I first designed her as a newbie at Mattel, but here we are. She's now a character on Nickelodeon. What? It was so much fun to reimagine my favorite Monster High character, and I loved sneaking in little details and Easter eggs. For example, the snowflake on her shirt is the same snowflake from her OG earring. I also love the idea of adding horns to her to give her even more of that Yeti monsterness. There's lots more I could talk about, but I'll save that for another time. For now, just living in this insane moment and grateful to be allowed to redesign such an icon." So right there already, there's so much to unpack. I mean, just looking at the design originally, it looks completely different from what the final result on the doll looks like, but we'll get to the doll later. The little Easter eggs with the snowflake being the same snowflake from her original design earring. I actually did not notice that. I did not know that was what was intended here, but it did seem familiar to me. The earring did look familiar to me, so I think subconsciously I knew it was somehow tied to the original Abbey design, and surely it was. So that makes me feel like it's not just a throwaway snowflake design. It actually has some meaning, which I love. Because the actual top is kind of basic, and then with the ruffled little sleeves is really cute. The long nails, by the way, I love them. And then her horns, so they added these little hair horns, or maybe these are actual horns. I don't know about y'all, but when I first saw these like concept design and like the hair in the animated series, which we will get to that as well in a second, to me it registered as hair. I never saw these horns as actual like horns. I thought they were just hair horns, like they were made out of hair. So because the texture kind of looks like hair, you know what I mean? But I guess they could actually be horns and not just little horns that are made out of her hair, because the actual horns don't have any like pastel pinks or purple in them, so I guess they are actual horns and not just hair horns. So that makes sense. And in the original concept design here, you can tell the horns were really like big. Like they made their presence known, and they were quite large, not too spiky. They were really round, but they really stood out. They really made their presence known. And then the hair clips and the hair texture is kind of like mid with a little crimped wavy texture to it, which I love. The sunglasses, the earring is something that they kept for the actual final design for the doll. And then we have her pants, which did change a little bit. Originally, I guess they were going to have her in some shorts, and then the second layer of pants were going to be like kind of mesh see-through, and then that outer layer would have the snowflake print on it that's kind of like chromatic and has that chromatic finish to them on the snowflake design. And then the fanny pack is also something they kept, and the shoes is something that they really changed for the final design of the doll. Here they're just some practical, simple little sandal wedges, and then of course later on they would make them into these big sneaker wedges, whatever. So but really neat. I love these wedges. And I think this first iteration of Abbey was really spot on for what ended up being G3. And then, of course, we have the infamous Abbey edit that someone made. I still don't know who made this. I mean, they were clearly very talented and they put in the work, because I, as many of us, I was fooled. I thought this was legit, but it's not. And I still don't know who made it. So please, if you know, let me know down below so I can give credit to where credit is due. But this was the first, unofficial doll look of what G3 Abbey could look like. And so this edit really showed us the potential of what the artwork had and how it could look like in a doll version. With the hair buns, here are actually the horns are actually made out of her hair. So this is what I thought the original concept art looked like. This is what I thought it was representing. I thought it was just hair horns. The horns were made out of her hair, which here is accurate. That's what I thought was what was going to happen with the final result, because it looks great here, like the horns, and then the crimped texture stayed, the makeup, the face, to some people it looks off. Again, it's not real, it's a fake, it's an edit, so I'm sure that they did their best with what they had to their disposal. But I think all things considered, I like it. I think people said it's giving G2. I don't really see that. I think the eyes are not that big. I think also the underbite and the lips, like in the structure of her, like the chin is very strong. So I actually like that. And then you can probably tell there's also like the iconic, glittery finish on her body, which the final result of the doll does not have, unfortunately. But here we can kind of see what it would have looked like, I guess. And it looks so nice on her with the shimmery, glittery finish. The shirt has the same snowflake design, the little fluffy tips at the ends, and then my favorite part, the shorts / pants combo. I love that the shorts here are in this kind of metallic finish, and I'm pretty sure these are also like the same shorts that Dracula had on School Ultimate Secret Series 1, or like Cleo had. I'm pretty sure that they reused one of those pictures to make these shorts here for Abbey, and it looks really awesome. Honestly, I feel like if they had went with the shorts and the kind of mesh see-through pants for the final result, oh my god, that would have been perfection. I'm telling you, because it looks so good here. I personally love the combination between the shorts and then the sheer pants over over the shorts, and we can see a fade of translucent lavender to dark purple to the ends of the leg pants, and then the snowflakes, and then the shoes. I love these shoes. The shoes are really an accurate adaptation of the concept art, which unfortunately the final result doesn't look like this, and I really prefer these wedges over the final result. But of course, before we ever got to see the final result, we got our first look of Abbey in the animated series that debuted last December, I believe, in the episode Nightmare Night More, and we also got to meet her mom, which we never got to meet her parents before in G1. And here Abbey looked very, very close to the concept art with the horns, but here it's not actual horns. Here her hair once again is forming the little cone-shaped horns, which I love. I love the way it looks. I love her hair colors with the pastel pinks, purples, blues, teals, and I also really like the hair clips, something that they also did not add in the final result of the doll. I love the hair clips here in a different shades. I love her sunglasses, the earrings. I like her hair here. It's not as crimped in a series. It's more wavy and shorter, but the shirt is the same. And the biggest difference here from the series to the original concept art is really the pants, because the pants here are one piece instead of them being two layers. Here the pants are just normal pants that flare at the bottom, and they don't have, she's not wearing any shorts underneath, and it's not sheer. So I understand why maybe they scrapped that idea. I can see why, but I definitely prefer the first look. I prefer the shorts with the sheer pants combo. I feel like that's just more interesting. That's more Monster High to me. That's just more style forward, more fashion forward, and it just feels more like what kind of trends I've seen on TikTok. Like, I feel like I've definitely seen people combine those kind of pieces together, and it would have just really made Abbey look even more distinct and unique. But even without the shorts and pants combo, I still love the pants by themselves with the flare. I just love a flare pant, to be honest. And I still like that they have the gradient of like a silvery blue up top, and then as you go down, it's more of like a purple with the still. I like that they kept the snowflakes design on the pants, and then we have little slits on the sides, which are also new actually, which I like. And then the shoes are actually a very accurate adaptation of the concept art, so I love that as well. So I think overall they did their best with the concept art that they had for what they could make her look like in the series. And I think, yeah, the biggest change is really just the bottom pants, like the shorts and the pants, and maybe the hair. But I think overall, she's a really great, accurate adaptation of what she was originally going to look like. And now, of course, we get to the most recent development with the official reveal of the Abbey Abominable G3 doll. And there are a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of changes between the official design of the doll and the previous iterations of Abbey and G3 so far. So for starters, the hair is no longer short and like crimped or wavy. It's now super long and just straight. The hairstyle to me is something that's definitely a con. It's kind of basic and straight, and I love the shades of hair with the pastel purples and blues, although not too much pink that I'm seeing here, which I wish they had more pink here. But other than that, I think it's really just the texture. It's just straight. Like, really, you couldn't give us like a crimped texture or like a wavy texture, at least maybe make it more interesting looking. And then of course, what previously looked like hair buns in the series, in the concept art, and even in the edit, the fake doll, Abbey doll edit, here, there are no hair buns, and instead we have her horns, which are actually molded into her head, I'm assuming like with Claudine's ears. But even though they gave her molded on horns, you can barely see them. That's, I think, something that they really should have made more clear. Like, if they're gonna create a new head sculpt for her and mold on horns, then maybe they should have made the horns a little bit larger, like in the concept art. Like they should have made them like really big so they stick out and you can clearly see them, and they are clearly visible, but they are not visible. You can barely see them because I see a lot of comments on the G3 Abbey post I posted on Instagram comparing the official release to the fake, and people always point out like, oh, she has horns, like, so you can tell. It's not clear to, I think, the majority of people that look at her on first glance that she has horns. It's really something that goes overlooked, and I feel like it's a really big change for Abbey. She's never had horns before, and it's a really fierce change. It's a really nice change for her new version in G3. So for them to give her horns, but then for them to like, oh, just half-ass it and make them super small, it's like, what? Mattel, why are you going to give her horns and then not make them big enough for us to see that she has horns? Like, it's just kind of like, what? You're making it very hard to appreciate what you've done here, Mattel. Like, I love that she has horns, but again, even when you see them, it's like they're so small. They're like little baby horns. And I know she's like a younger Yeti, but like, even in the concept art, in the edit, in the series, whatever she has, even if it's like hair horns, whatever it is, she always had something on top of her head, and they were always visible, and they were always like very much in your sight. You could clearly see she had hair horns or like real horns. Here, it looks like she has nothing, you know, and that's my problem. I wish they made it more clear. The face, the earrings is all very accurate, but the hair clips also, as you might have noticed, they replaced the hair clips with little, you know, rubber bands that are in purple, which I also wish they would have just given her like at least one hair clip or like two, because obviously they can give the dolls hair clips. I believe they gave Twyla a hair clip. So come on, Mattel, you can give Abbey here some hair clips, or maybe they could have made like a hair clip that looks like it's two, but they're molded together to make them more durable. You know, take a note from OMG and Rainbow High hair clips. They've made so many that are awesome looking and amazing. And I'm sure that, you know, when Abbey gets released, a lot of people will customize her to use hair clips from Rainbow High and OMG, because it would just look way better. The outfit is pretty accurate to what we saw in the series. The shirt, the sleeves, the fluff is way bigger, and larger on the trim on the sleeves, which I love. And her hands are really big, and they do have longer nails. They're not painted, but at least she has nails. But the pants is also where it changes here. The pants seem to take the same design like the series iteration, where it's just flared pants with a snowflake print and chromatic finish. And then we have some slits. The slits here are larger. They're also longer, which I like. I like the slits. I like the pants, but there's no longer a gradient, and they also seem to be a much thinner material. So let's see how they actually feel like. And I do wish that maybe they would have made the gradient of the snowflakes also more apparent, because in the series it's like they really become visible at the bottom, and on the top it's like they're barely visible. Here it's just an ongoing print, which I get, but like, I don't know, it just makes me feel like there's like something got lost here with the pants. Like they just went through so much change, and then here they just kind of look boring. They're still cute and I love them, but would I still have preferred like the original concept art version? Like definitely, yes, please. The fanny pack they kept, which is great. It looks very accurate to the concept art. And then the shoes, the shoes are a miss for me. They look nothing like her shoes in the series. In the concept art, nothing. They look completely different. Like they were part of another doll's shoes. Like they have the, you know, icy blue sole, and they have the little purple top portion around her, toes, but here it looks like a sneaker wedge something. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, maybe snow or ice, but it's a really weird texture, and it's weird looking to me. Compared at least to the original design of her shoes, I really prefer the original kind of sandal wedges look she had going on. I really would have loved to see her wear something more simplistic like that, with kind of like the droopiness and purple on the sides, but that's just obviously my take. Comparing the official release between the edit version, it really makes me feel like there's some things that could have definitely been added to the official release. Like, again, I don't want to talk about the horn situation for 2 minutes again, but like, I wish they had made the horns more visible. If they were actual horns or like hair horns, I wish the hair was more crimped. I wish the hair clips had stayed in. I wish the pants had more of a flare, and I don't mean like a flare like at the bottom. I mean like an actual like spicy flare to them. I wish they weren't as plain. I wish they had like a more like something, maybe if they don't want to like give her shorts underneath and like make them visible and like make it too complicated, then at least make the pants actually like gradient or something. I don't know, I feel like they could have done something more here, and they just really went the easy way out. And then of course the shoes, completely different, honestly. Like I really prefer the shoes that the edit has on. Like it just looks way better. But you know what, I think all things considered, Abbey in G3 has had some of the most promising and accurate and just faithful reiterations so far of any character in G3. I feel like Abbey really has kept the essence of herself, of what makes Abbey Abbey, and I think even through the different iterations of the concept art, the edit, and the series debut look of Abbey, and now the final look for Abbey in the doll version, I think she's really kept the essence of Abbey, even with the changes between her hair, the horns, the pants, the shoes. I think it's really, she's still like, the execution of Abbey in G3 is probably like the strongest one we've seen so far, especially because we've seen so many different versions and iterations of Abbey. And honestly, because she was so hyped up, we were really, you know, anticipating her debut and her release and the doll version to, you know, finally leak. And like, because of all this hyped up tension we all had for Abbey, I feel like it also made the actual developments and different like the edit that came out, like it really made an impact on, wow, this is what Abbey's gonna look like. And it's really like different, but it's still like true to herself. And I feel like she probably dethroned Draculaura. Like most people have said she has. Like it's honestly amazing. She's probably like the best executed version of a character so far in G3, which is insane. But yeah, that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the evolution Abbey had in G3 down below. Leave me a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all it tea you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay PeachY. Kisses.